Everything, just building up to it, and then
I also think people are confused about what the product is. They're like, wait, so it's just Prime and Feastables in a Lunchables? No. No. It's Prime and Feastables
In a
compete
lunchly.
in a lunch. I mean, that's what it is. But
Ladies and gentlemen, the Three Stooges, aka Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul have finally addressed the allegations. They have talked about everything. They have finally ripped the band-aid off of all of the drama that they have been involved in the past week, and in Mr. Beast's case, the past month. And no, it's not any of the serious stuff, of course. What did you expect? It's three goons, three minions sitting in a room, you know, ogling themselves, giving themselves a little reach around, telling themselves how great they're doing in life, talking about their next big business adventure, and whatnot. As you can tell by the dislikes, people are annoyed. People are still riding that hate train for Beast, Logan, and KSI. And the views are also reflecting this. 136,857 views in 11 hours. That is horrible for a channel with 4.73 million subs, with 3 of the largest creators on the platform. I wanted to show you some comparative creators who are getting much more views than this in much less time. Some Ordinary Gamers, aka Mudahar, 3 million, pretty close to what Logan is getting. 110,000 views in 5 hours. And this is just about a random Starfield DLC, right? And then we have The Act Man, literally dropped a video 7 hours ago to get 213,000 views with only 1.94 million, right? So you can obviously see how a channel with 4 times that many subs, with 3 of the largest creators, most famous YouTubers in the world, getting only 100,000 views, is laughable. It's embarrassing, such as Lunchly and all the other things that these goobers have been involved in this past year. Now, the Stooges start the podcast, of course, you know, in an attempt to promote Lunchly. This was pre-recorded after their Lunchly debut / announcement. I don't know if you've seen that, but they went live on Instagram and it was in 160p at that point. They even brought in the Rizzler, but you couldn't tell because it was in such low quality, such low resolution. It was laggy. Overall, it was very terrible. They start off by laughing about that. They go into Lunchly and how great it is. And it's funny because KSI even makes a joke saying how after the launch of this product, you can tell the internet's going to be like, wow, they're poisoning the kids. And it's true.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Lunchly will get a few dumb people on X, etc., being like, oh my god, they're trying to poison the kids now.
In a way, you know, they're promoting this Lunchy product for kids, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, they're not promoting it to kids. But at the same time, they're also not promoting it's healthy. But it's somehow better than Lunchables. It's a long story. It's a long thing I'm not going to get into. But there's plenty of videos about doctors and other professionals diving into, you know, Lunchly and talking about how it's not healthy and blah, 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 blah. That's a whole nother story for a whole different day. I've made videos on it. Other people have made videos on it. Now, obviously, it gets a little interesting here at around the 7-minute and 27-second part that says Mr. Beast's $100 million Amazon show. If you don't know what that means, it's about the Beast Games. You know, the same Beast Games that's all over the news. It's getting sued for unsafe work conditions. It's getting sued for all kinds of wacky things, and it's quite controversial thanks to people like Rosanna covering it, thanks to all of the news coverage on it about people being, you know, put in horrible positions, people not being fed, people not getting their things, people having their underwears taken to the back rooms and nobody gets their underwears, things like that. And they kind of talk about it here.
I know you, Jimmy, just got done shooting your Amazon show,
oh my gosh,
which
yes.
from what it sounds like is going to be the biggest game
That's
show
not
in
a good
history
thing.
ever.
Yeah.
Y'all broke how many Guinness World Records shooting it?
We broke
Most
over 40
injuries
world
on a
records while
set.
filming Beast.
Most people starved in one episode of a TV show. Most, you know, panties snatched in one episode of a TV show. Some pretty groundbreaking records that I don't think anyone's going to beat for a while. But it's Mr. Beast, so we got to give him credit that everyone involved in the Beast Games is going to have to go one-on-one, you know, fighting to the unalive. Right? It's insane.
Beast Games. It's my Amazon show
Damn.
dropping later this year.
Yeah.
Most contestants of any game show in history, largest cash prize of any game show in history, most cameras recording simultaneously.
All of those
any
cameras, and they're
production
going to
in
cut out
history.
all of the bad stuff. Of course, it's a TV show, it's a reality show. They don't want to show the horrific sides, but of course, it's funny. They got all these different people on NDAs. They got all these different people scared to speak out and talk about the horrific things happening behind the scenes of the Beast Games. Well, they have all these cameras, they have all these contestants, they have all these prizes, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they don't address any of the serious issues. This stuff has been happening for about a month now. There's plenty of time where Logan could stop him and say, so what about all the, negative press and negative attention the show's getting? Anything on that? And Beast, of course, won't talk about that. They're not going to talk about any of the real things happening in the real world because it's all money. It's all optics. It's all silly games. It's all silly MrBeast merch and Amazon and blah, 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 blah.
I can go on and on. I mean, if there's a world record for game shows, we broke it, and we even broke a lot of stuff that have nothing to do with game shows. It is, I really need Amazon to tell me what I can or can't say. I wish I could run you through the things we shot. It is literally going to blow your mind.
We've heard
It is 10
plenty
episodes, and
that
every episode
blows our mind already.
literally makes my YouTube videos look like child's play. Like they're just, yeah, just for one part of the show. I mean,
Just for one part.
oh yeah, the first episode I spent over $20 million on. I mean, it's probably like one of the most expensive episodes in television history.
Bro, we're launching this company.
How fun this for me.
Jimmy's already trying to like give away all the money that we already don't have because there's no profits because it's
Well,
day zero.
I throughout the show, I think I am allowed to say this. We gave away over $20 million throughout the show.
But wasn't the grand prize like
5. Yeah.
So that most
It'll make sense
likely
when you
has
watch
to
it.
do with all
No,
of
no,
the
no, no, no.
contestants. I want to say there was like 2,000, and every contestant that loses gets 1,000. And then I think someone who like complained or they tried to like sue them or something, they got an extra 1,000. So I'm guessing that out of all 2,000 people, if you lose or you get kicked out of the game, you get $2,000. So that's probably where he's talking about all that money.
no, it doesn't make sense, Jimmy. It doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because I know you had $100 million budget, but I also know
Well, that's not. You don't know I had $100 million.
Well,
I
yeah,
never
no, yeah,
said I had $100 million.
yeah, but
that's what the headline said.
So yeah,
But you
he's
spent way
chuckling
more.
here saying that
but yes, I also-
basically Amazon has given him unlimited budget, or maybe Amazon gave him 20 million and he could do the budgeting himself, but then he gets like a cut of the profit. We probably won't know all that information until more comes out. Maybe after the show comes out, he'll finally be able to speak about it and whatnot. So again, that's pretty interesting. All of this money, more than $20 million, yet they can't feed people more than one meal of like a cracker and a Feastable a day.
Spent way more than $100 million. I somehow got one of the largest unscripted deals in history, and then managed to lose tens of millions of dollars filming the
bro,
show.
these events. That's
So
why,
around the 12-minute mark, they used this really cringy like chapter to say who is MrBeast voting for, and all he says is like you should vote for whoever you want and whatever values align with you. And then they do the SeatGeek promo, which is kind of cringy because it's like you're going to clickbait like who MrBeast is possibly voting for, which is quite a controversial thing between Kamala or Trump. And you're going to put an ad right there. Of course, I'm going to skip right past that, as you should too. Now, the last little part I want to show up before we kind of wrap this bad boy up is at 22 minutes, it says KSI's honest opinion of MrBeast. And you'll see just how funny this comment is and this situation is compared to like all the stuff going on recently. Get into it.
but was it Theo Von? Was it
Yeah.
Theo Von? Theo Von was like, "Yo, when you're with MrBeast, like, is it inspiring? Like, does he inspire you?" And
I'm pretty sure I said no.
No,
you
that
said
same-
no, not at all.
No.
And then he also asked you, "Do you want to be him?" And you're like, "No."
No,
and people
not at all.
kept clipping that and being like, "Look what JJ said. Does this?" And I was like,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be MrBeast now. Trust me, you would not want to be Beast Boy. Especially this year.
"No, that's what I expected him to say."
No, I'm so glad you were honest about it.
Yeah,
because like
it's terrifying being Mr. Beast.
I have the same thought.
Just the amount of stress that he puts onto himself. I'm like,
It definitely can't help with being friends with Kris Tyson, Kris Tyson. Definitely can't help seeing those Delaware allegations come back up, having people like Dogpack making video after video on you. Can't have it helpful being, having people like that surprise witness looking into all your history and finding out about your mom owning half of the company. A lot of stuff's happening right now with MrBeast, and obviously it's a terrible year to be Mr. Beast. Of course, we've been following this from, the beginning to the end at this point, and a lot of it is being swept under the rug, and some people just don't care for the drama anymore. But surely enough, you can tell it's taking a toll on Jimbo over here. I mean, a lot of people already kind of pointed out he looks rather skinny. He looks like he's a bit off that addy. Either way, I'm not the one to make any accusations or claims. Just saying, based on looks, you can tell he's going through a lot, and obviously the news shows that as well, and so does YouTube, and just about anything and everything else. But regardless, the video or the podcast kind of continues. They talk about like going to school and getting bullied, and Ronaldo taking over YouTube. I Show Speed comes up, Logan Paul and Beast Clown KSI. Yeah, and this is all going to be linked down below if you want to actually watch this entire 1 hour podcast for yourself. I just wanted to take like a few minutes to make a nice little 10-15 minute video going over the Three Stooges podcast. Again, it's doing horrifically bad for how large all three of these creators are combined into one setting, with context of the drama between all three of them, the drama between MrBeast. It's wacky, to say the least. And of course, everything else in this video is not exactly relevant to anything. MrBeast talks about Meat Canyon, which is kind of based. We love Meat Canyon around here. Awesome artist. And that's just about it, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video was fun and short and wacky. Again, get into like the final stretch of my move, which explains why I haven't been, streaming very often. The videos have kind of slowed down. But I'm trying my best to really keep you guys updated on the lore of the internet. And I do my best to keep you guys updated in community notes as well, and on my Discord if you aren't in those. Ask in the comments, or check the descriptions and things like that where things are linked, and you'll find a lot more. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like it, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. So.